800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.
Folks, welcome to Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez. I'll be joined with my co-host Florida Rick and Oklahoma Brian. And we got a special guest in the studio today, Mr. August Pritzlaff, a Las Vegas legend who I grew up with gambling. We got a lot of stories. Augie is a real colorful character in our gaming circuit. It's where I would say cojones, degeneracy, and talent meets the gambling street.
That's about right. No drinking and no drugs, though. So I've held the line on that.
By the way, you guys, I got informed on our show today. It was announced that Augie was on the show, so a lot of the Five Dimes in Costa Rica office will be watching this show, since he used to work the stage there with our mutual friend in Costa Rica until he got thrown off for telling Tony that he was wrong on a game. The game should have been 3. But Tony had it 2, so he got into an argument with Tony, and he got gong showed off the stage at Five Dimes.
Now you're going to get everybody that knows the truth of my stay down there.
You know what, Augie? Tell us. We got a couple minutes in this one. Tell us why Tony got pissed off when you went in there telling him he had the wrong number on a game.
Well, first of all, that story is a myth. But I did always tell everybody at the office, no, that number's wrong on a game. That number isn't right. It should be this. I didn't have a good grasp of the idea that you put up a number that people are going to bet both sides on. I figured you just should put up the number that should be representative of what was going to happen in the game, which should have turned into beating the line all the time, but obviously didn't.
So, in other words, he was questioning Tony that Augie could put up a better number than Tony, and it didn't work out.
Well, I spent a lot of years putting the right number on games for betting purposes, but never for setting the line for anybody.
But anyways, you guys, so when we get good to see you guys on the show. Rick, Brian, we had a killer week, guys. Great week.
Yeah, it was a great week. And let's keep it going this week. This is my favorite day of the week, Monday, HBCU special. I got a bunch of 6-digit games.
Where everybody's looking forward to it. Rick, and I'm sure you got some NBA guys. When we come back, we got to take a timeout. This is Fifth Street Sports. Back in 3 minutes.
For years, they said that it could lead to madness. They regulated it to dark rooms and back alleys. They shamed those who grew it. They did a stop and frisk on anyone they thought might have it. But now a completely new era has begun because of it. The new normal is here. This month, millions have witnessed its arrival. Have you? Brought to life in a short film that runs only 2 minutes long, the new normal seeks to leave behind 80 years of unjust prohibition in favor of a safer, happier world. It reveals a product that once drove good people to the black market as one that today is creating a new global market. In this new era, a plant that was viewed with fear now represents a source of calm and wellness. From this day forward, what inspired the symbol of counterculture is at long last just culture. The new normal has arrived to your city, to your neighborhood, to the inside of your living room. Watch it now. Experience the new normal at medmen.com.
I'm Nick Ebram. I like to have a nice smooth shave. I do have a goatee. I like to make sure the skin around it is nice and smooth. And when you're using one of those disposable razors, you never know what you're going to get. You don't get a great shave. I tell you, I have found the solution to my shaving issues with Harry's razors. Non-slip, comfortable handle. I think these are absolutely the best. Right now, you can get a $13 value trial set. Comes with everything you need for a close, comfortable shave. Weighted ergonomic handle, a 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip, a rich lathering shave gel, a travel blade cover. You can get a $13 value trial set right now. Go to harrys.com Harrys.com/World Soccer. Go right now, Harrys.com/World Soccer. Redeem your offer right now and let them know that I, Nick Giebus, sent you. Harrys.com/World Soccer to go get your Harry's razors.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Folks, we're back. Fifth Street Sports. I'm joined with Oklahoma Brian, Florida Rick, and we have a guest in the house today, Las Vegas legend August Pritzlaff. I'm Frank Perez. We're on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. Catch us on iHeart, YouTube, Facebook, and American Forces Network. Hey, Rick, Sunday, once again, Joey Casano calls me, gives me right off the top of his head, DePaul, App State, and Moneyline, Stanford. Then you shoot me over the Houston Rockets and the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA. My two fighters. What a weekend, baby.
It was just a good continuation from the entire week. Like we were talking about yesterday, it's 2 weeks in a row now. I mean, we've been winning the whole season, but the last 2 weeks have just been monster weeks. And you can tell by your accounts how good they've been. And I mean, I think the only day we had that was not a profitable day was, I think it was Wednesday when we went like 5-6 or so, 5-7 on the show. And other than that, every single day was a big winner. And that includes Saturday, Sunday, which of course the people don't get to hear because they, we're not on Saturdays and Sundays.
But what if they were taking
That's
notes?
The Saturday and Sunday are for the Executive Club VIP listeners. If you're wondering why.
Yeah, but Brian, but you gave them an early treat. You gave them that Oklahoma State. Remember, you said take them plus the 8.
Yeah, I did. I think I gave. Unfortunately, I also gave out Kentucky, which was no good.
By the way, boys, speaking of Kentucky and Tennessee, I think somebody made that line Tennessee 3. That would be me. Remember that? Remember you guys said, "Oh,
that is correct." Yeah. I said 2. I think Brian had Kentucky favored.
I did. I had Kentucky favored by 1. Now, speaking of making lines, I got to ask this every time we have a guest come on because it's come up quite a bit on the show. August. Are you familiar with this new football league called the AAF?
The simplest way to deal with the new football league is to watch it. Although I did notice that you guys spotted right away that the unders were coming in real strong to start. But that was so obvious they started putting 36s on football games. Yeah. I can't deal with a 36 or a 35 on a football game.
But he's in my corner, by the way, Brian.
Okay, I was going to say, my question is, make a hypothetical line between Alabama and an AAF team.
Make that. AAF team. By the way, guys, the best team is Orlando.
Orlando and Arizona.
Gamble on making Alabama getting 7.5 because I always believe in taking the hook and a touchdown and a hook, and you can't go wrong.
So you would wait a second, Augie. Let's say that again. You would make Orlando a 7.5 point favorite over Alabama, right?
And this is without having watched Orlando play football.
That's just common sense, my friend.
It's not only common sense. Watch how people bet MMA and how they bet boxing. Nobody bets, and the weekend of the fight, everybody bets the dog like crazy. Everybody bet against John Jones this past weekend or last weekend whenever he fought. What underdog could you possibly take against John Jones in MMA that would justify putting all your money on it?
No, but Augie, we need to get back to the crux here. The crux is Alabama at Orlando in football, you would give Alabama 7.5, correct?
Because I've learned the hard way that it's not the way the game will go. It's what's going to get people to bet. And there's just going to be too many people out there that are going to take a shot on Alabama plus 7.5 just to say they bet it. Everybody's got a few losing tickets in their drawer they save for history.
Well,
I have about 20 of them on the Cubs.
I think if you made Alabama plus 7.5, you would not have trouble attracting action. I would shove it all in and take the next number and the next number and the next number. I guess what I was saying is, who do you think should be favored? And I'm 100% sure Alabama will be favored and they would win big.
But see, here's what you don't understand is you're talking to a guy from the streets of Chicago that used to be a bookmaker. So he even put up his own numbers, and he even went to, when he was in Costa Rica, was in certain sports books trying to teach people how to make numbers. So he knows how to make a good number on a game.
When I was in high school, I'd sit down with 3x5 index cards, put every game on the schedule down, and make a line for the game, and then book all the action in high school. For 2 years in high school, I booked. I never lost until the next to last weekend when I got caught. They expelled me from school, and I couldn't pay everybody because I didn't have enough money, but my social studies teacher in a sharp moment pulled some money out of his pocket and said, "Well, I don't know why you guys didn't get your money. I got mine." Needless to say, I skipped my high school graduation ceremony.
But so Augie, tell us the reason. Okay, now by the way, I picked up Augie yesterday at the Speedway. He went to the Las Vegas 300. That's where I picked him up, and he's staying with me. But tell us how you made your move from Chicago and why from Chicago to Las Vegas.
Well, along with booking my own action, I was running bets and numbers for the Italian friends in the south side of Chicago that everybody makes if you're playing poker and shooting dice. So in my infinite wisdom, I noticed that I had some winning bettors mixed in with all the losers. So I came up with this sharp idea that I would accumulate all the money for the weekend. I would write down the smart plays, the people that looked like they were going to win, and then all the people that I knew were stone cold losers, I would write down the opposite of their bets, and anytime those matched up on a play, I would make that play with everybody's money. However, what I didn't counter plan on was that sooner or later my boss would run into Frank and say to Frank, "Frank, congratulations." And Frank would say, "What are you talking about?" And my guy would say, "Well, after all these years of losing, you're having a great season. You're ahead $7,000. And what did Frank say? "Winning $7,000? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm down $10,000. Well, don't worry. My books said that everybody was winning that year because it was the best system I ever came up with. So, of course, my boss sent two guys with 2x4s to the local bar where I picked up the bets, and they commenced to end my life. And a couple of people from the bar ran outside and saved me. So my best friend from high school says, "Well, I'm on my way to Phoenix. You better move to Phoenix with me." So I jumped in the car with him, headed for Phoenix. We stopped for a couple of days in Las Vegas. I never left.
Yeah, that's it. So,
Wow.
The best thing that ever happened to me was probably getting out of Chicago.
And then, but here's a guy who's made call bets and when he says they're Lee Trevino bets, because remember Lee Trevino when they asked him, he was playing the U.S. Open and he won it, and they said, "Lee, how much pressure do you have on those 11 footers for 100,000?" Back then, 100,000 was a lot, and he says, "Oh, that's no pressure." He said, "That's no pressure." He goes, "No, pressure was when I was playing the mob guys $200 Nassau's and I had $50 in my pocket." This guy's making $4,000 call bets at the Golden Nugget with no money in his pocket, but he actually won it. We still to this day don't know what would have happened had the no 10, no 4 come in. He may not be able to kind of hold the microphone anymore. With what they would have done to his hands.
Yeah, in those days they still took you out in the back alley if you didn't pay a bet.
Wow.
This is
That's crazy. To think that's how Vegas used to be.
really was. They didn't play around back here back then. They didn't have this, security and photo. They took care of business.
I was there the night the guy at the Horseshoe came up and threw a garbage can through the front window. And I guess I can talk about Teddy Binion because he's no longer with us. He stepped outside in the street, shot the guy dead. The guy drops dead on the street with the bullet in him, and Teddy retreats to the cashier cage inside the Horseshoe. And when the police come, they tell them it's private property, and Teddy will appear in court, but he's not coming out to turn himself in. Crazy days, even back then in the late 70s, early 80s.
It was like the Wild West out here, my friend. But, guys, when we come back, we want to hear from Oklahoma Brian and Florida Rick on our great weekend. Also, Joey Casano back in 3 minutes, folks.
Attention business owners, the perfect time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. We can give you packages with up to 90 great channels and save your business a ton of cash. And if you call right now, you can learn how to get free equipment and free installation. Now you have choices. It's time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. And call today and get 90 channels plus free equipment and free installation. Smart business owners like you all across the country are consolidating and saving money on their cable TV, internet, and phone service for their business. So now's the perfect time. This may be a limited time offer to the first 100 people that call right now. So please save money and call now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com, that's MYEVOZ.com, to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HDMI to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
All right, folks, Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez, joined with Oklahoma Brian, Florida Rick, and August Pritzlaff in the house. Now, you guys, Rick, Brian, did you guys get a chance to watch the NFL camps this weekend on the times and the players?
Well, there's just one camp, and yeah, it's the Combine in Indianapolis. It's not particularly exciting, but I still watched some of it, but read a lot about what was going on. So, Yeah, anything that's surprising to you so far?
Not me. I mean, some of the guys look good. I think this Kyler Murray is going to be everything that he's supposed to be. Rick, what do you think about what you saw?
Yeah, well, in terms of Kyler Murray, it's almost getting to be the point where it's a sure thing now that he's going to be drafted by Arizona. Cliff Kingsbury has indicated to a couple people that he is taking him. He is the prototype quarterback for his system, the way he, likes to run an offense. The Texas Tech quarterbacks always were in that same mold, but of course Murray is, like that, but on massive steroids. And so he'll probably be the number one pick. Then Arizona's now got to decide what to do with Josh Rosen. They're probably going to end up trading him for a third-round pick or so, which is funny because they've been saying for so long how he's still their guy, and in about a week or so, he's not going to be their guy anymore. And he'll probably go to either Miami or Washington or one of those teams for anywhere from a second or third-round pick. But I think the highlight of this draft was this guy, relative unknown, this guy named DK Metcalf out of Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard the story or not, but he was an adequate receiver at Ole Miss, but he comes to the combine. The guy is 6'2", 228 pounds, 1.6% body fat, in the best physical condition anyone's ever seen. And then he proceeds to run a 4.33 40-yard dash at that size. And he's now gone from possibly late round draft pick to almost a sure thing first round draft pick. And he's just the talk of the draft. So between Kyler Murray and this DK Metcalf, those are the big stories coming out of the combine, even though Murray hasn't really performed at the combine other than getting his height tested.
Wow.
So I got a question for you, Frank. There's 335 people, 335 players invited to the combine. If it was possible for AAF players to get invited to the combine, how many do you think would get an invite?
To get to the combine? Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh, at least I would say at least 60 to 70% of all the squads. I mean, these guys are pros. These guys are pros. Augie knows the difference between a 20-year-old and a 25-year-old. It's huge.
Oh my gosh! So you think that a majority of the AAF players would get invited to the combines?
Absolutely. Did you see these animals for Orlando with Spurrier coaching and Augie? Who's that great guy for Orlando? That quarterback for Orlando. That's absolutely fabulous.
Absolutely.
Garrett Gilbert.
Gilbert.
I think it's Garrett Gilbert.
Oh,
Gilbert.
Yeah, Gilbert from Texas, the Longhorns ex-quarterback.
Gilbert, yeah. Great. That's. Are you serious? That is not an NFL quarterback.
No, it's a AAA quarterback. There's a big gap between college football and NFL. Well, you got single A, double A, and triple A. The AAF is a solid AAA.
It is not a solid AAA. It's lucky if it's an A, and almost none of these guys will get invited to the combine. Remember, if you get invited to the combine, that means you're going to get drafted for the most part. If you think a majority of AAF players would get drafted, then why are they in the AAF? Because if you get drafted, you typically make a roster or at least a training squad. So it doesn't make any sense that these guys are here. Actually, let me share something with you, Frank. This might convince you if nothing else has. So they asked the announcer of the Birmingham Iron who would win in a matchup between Alabama and the team that he announces for. And this guy says it wouldn't even be close. Alabama would win by several touchdowns.
He really said that? You got that documented?
Yeah. I just sent you the story. So you have more faith in this product than the actual people who are running it. But so
I was going to actually try to have the coach for the Hot Shots in here during the AAF Super Bowl, try to get him on the show because it is going to be here in Vegas. And
we should do it, but he'll tell you the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, gosh.
Well, part of the problem is that average fans see the draft They see the 335 players that you're talking about. What everybody forgets about, that there's a pool of 700 to 800 guys that get signed as free agents or fill in for injured guys, and they're close to NFL talent, but they have to fill in the rosters for training camp. They have to have almost 100 guys on a team to whittle it down to the 53. So there's a whole lot of disappointed young men out there who aren't going to be quite good enough to be in the NFL, and we assume every 10 or 20 years that there's enough of those guys to make another football league. The last time around, it didn't work out so well. Maybe this time it'll go better. Maybe the fans will buy into it this time.
Well, I think there can be other football leagues, and I think one of these leagues will emerge, but it's just not. It's not a comparable league to the NFL, and it's not even comparable to elite college football. Clemson, just to give you an idea of how imbalanced these two potential teams would be, Clemson had 5 defensive linemen work out at the combines, which is astounding. 5 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers. So they had 7 guys on their front 7 that are working out at this combine. And these guys aren't just going to be drafted. They're going to be high draft picks. So think about that. And then think about your typical AAF team, which, I mean, these guys are not elite players. So I think you're talking about one team that is high draft picks and another team whose guys couldn't even get a job in the league.
Wow. Well,
what rights do the NFL have to sign their players? Is it going to be a minor league, or they have no rights and they shouldn't be raiding this league once they establish their rosters?
It's a developmental league. There's no tie-ins to the NFL. There has been some speculation about the NFL buying into either this league or the XFL, and it would be kind of the same format as the as NFL Europe was, 11 years ago when it went under. And I think that actually makes a lot of sense to kind of structure it so it's a clear developmental league.
Yeah, because I was wondering what rights the owner of the Carolina Panthers asked for when he gave up the $250 million so they could make their payroll.
Yeah, well, that was the owner of the Carolina hockey team.
Hey, Augie, now, Augie had a specific question just for you, Brian. Because he listens by the way, Augie's from Houston, Texas, and he does know Pecco real well. He's from Houston, Texas, and he's a very avid sports fan, and he listens to our show. Him and his group listen to our show, but he had a question that he's been wanting to ask you personally, Brian.
Sure. Yeah, a while back on the show, you guys were talking about the New Jersey legislation and being able to bet sports in New Jersey. And one of the things I remembered for years, I spent 7 years here in Las Vegas playing poker, and we all waited for Hold'em to be legalized in the poker rooms in California. 7 years later, they finally did it, and by that time I'd moved on to Texas and was doing my poker down there, so I didn't get to take advantage of that. One of the things I've waited 25 years in my life for was for Atlantic City, New Jersey, to legalize sports betting, because one of the crippling things that would always happen to me here in Nevada is I'd study for a game overnight, and then it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and you need to be up sharp, checking sharp lines. You can't do it. I waited for New Jersey to open because I thought living a lifestyle where if you got up at 9 o'clock in the morning, you still had 3 or 4 hours of prep time to get ready for betting would be great lead time. Of course, here it is. They've legalized it, and I'm not moving to New Jersey to have an extra 3 hours of time to study, but more importantly, see the line moves. Am I just a bad gambler, or would an extra 2 or 3 hours to study or watch line moves or prepare help you?
Yeah, I think that the time is a benefit to the player, but the problem is the earlier you bet, all things being equal, the better, unless you're just outright contrarian trying to go against the public. I think the line is typically going to move like it should move. It's an efficient market, and it's kind of a balance between how much market you need to get down and when the line is up. So small guys always have the edge. they can go in and attack stuff overnight. They don't even have to wait until the day of the event, whereas the big bettors are forced to wait till the day of the event because they need to get down a big bet. So I would say that time is a benefit, but it's also a benefit to try to jump in front of the big syndicates that are going to move the line if you can.
And he deals with some of the syndicates in Texas, but obviously one of his issues that he always has, he plays cards all night. He's been playing poker all his life, and he likes to sleep in. So the syndicates got a little bit, how would you say it in a kind word, a little bit disturbed with his work ethics when they wanted to get down on the games early, and he was still in bed. So in other words, what he's trying to tell you is, would he be better off in Atlantic City where he can sleep in more? Guys, we'll be right back. 5th Street Sports, talk you can bet on, back in 3 minutes.
Hey, not to brag, but Buffalo Wild Wings is the official chicken wing of the NCAA. Yep, soak it in. You know who isn't the official chicken wing of the NCAA? Your couch. Because your couch doesn't have a partnership deal with the NCAA. So do you want to be home on your couch, the official nothing of the NCAA? Or do you want to be at Buffalo Wild Wings, the official place that has lots of TVs and beers and screaming fans, and it's officially better than your couch for college basketball? Buffalo Wild Wings. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, it's Mom. Somebody forgot to thaw the chicken, so meet us at Chili's for 3 for $10. Oh, and congratulate your sister on her report card. It's not great, but this time she didn't try to hide it from us. Oh, and remember, tonight's your dad's goatee intervention. Love you. See you at Chili's.
Come in now for Chili's 3 for $10. Starter, entree, and drink for just $10. With entrees like hand-battered chicken crispers, and for a limited time, our mouth-watering sirloin steak topped with garlic butter. Together, we Chili's. Available at participating locations only.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
All right, guys, this is 5th Street Sports, the segment with talk you can bet on, which we're going to get to because Brian has some great six-digit games. Obviously, Rick is going to have all his great NBA stuff. Joey hasn't sent me one in. I'm just waiting for Joey Casano or Daniel Wages. But before we get to that, we had two things. Andrew, do we got something from our Fifth
Street
Facebook
Social?
media?
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, we do. And here's the if you're watching on Fifth Street Sports Talk, which is our Facebook page, you will see. Here's what we got so far today. Shane Vernon was asking if you guys have any picks. Yes, we do. Daniel Wages came in with a one pick today. SUU plus 6.5.
Okay. Thank you, Daniel.
Brian Wilson was asking if you had any NHL Gold. Well, not NHL Fold, but NHL Gold. And yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much what we have today for picks. Billy Donlin came in and he was mentioning, saying finally Christian Hackenberg is on the bench and Memphis wins 26-23 with Zach Mettenberg as QB. So definitely a relatively busy day on the Fifth Street social front. Once again, if you want to chime in, let your voice be heard, you can watch us live on YouTube, youtube.com/Fifth Street Sports, or live on Facebook, facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk.
Okay, now guys, you got Brian, Rick, you guys are there, right? Here now here's a living proof, before we get to our picks and everything. He's going to talk to about 2 minutes. Living proof, this man watches our shows and bets. He is currently, at this current moment, being stiffed by 3 Houston, Texas bookmakers. Augie, how much do these guys owe you? This is the God's honest truth. 3 guys are slow paying them and stiffing them for how much?
$2,500, $7,000, and $10,000.
3 guys. He's been betting a nickel and a dime on our games, and he's being stiffed and slow paid by 3 Houston bookmakers.
The minute you start
these
winning,
were all
they
from our
stop
picks?
paying.
Yeah, tell them the minute you start winning.
The minute you start winning, they stop paying. They think you're a sharp bettor.
Yeah, Rick. I mean, ask him. These are from our picks.
Wow.
So we are getting people in trouble here, boys. We're getting people in trouble, and just because Augie hasn't been really like a huge winner, a huge lifetime winner, but lately he's been watching our show, and now he starts winning, and all of a sudden these guys don't want to pay.
Yeah, it's getting to be a Texas tradition not to pay your gambling debts. I don't know why, but in the poker and the sports, if you lose, you pay, and if you win, you got to go find them.
Wow.
Gracious. Wow, maybe the girls from Wisconsin maybe took all the money already.
That's who we were talking about on the break, the fact that even in other states, when you start winning, the people keep finding a way to not answer your phone call.
3 guys, and then if you total that, he's betting a nickel. What's the biggest bet you made from any of our plays?
We've only got $1,000 max.
Okay.
That's all we can do.
But your usual play is what? A nickel? 400?
Usually 500 because it's the general number. Certain guys will take up to a dime, but the ones that take a dime are the ones that we bet the first half. One of my bad habits is when you guys have a play with too large a number. Remember, I'm the guy who thinks I know all the numbers inside and out. If I think it's too big a number, sometimes I'll just bet the first half, and that's always a lower limit than your limit for the whole game.
Right. So with just our plays, he's gotten 3 guys a total of $19,500, and he can't get paid.
Finally.
Were they paying before this, or they never paid?
No, they were collecting before this.
They were collecting before our show. He didn't run into that problem until he started betting our games the last 3 weeks. They were collecting. So anyways, folks, we don't want to get you in trouble. Remember the one thing in Vegas, bet with your head, not over it. And if you win, just don't get greedy. Try to get paid. Okay, you guys, talk you can bet on. Who wants to go first? Brian, you got the 6-digit gold. Rick, you got NBA?
Yeah, I'll start off with with college basketball. I'm going to start off with the Big 12 since Monday, and those are kind of the featured games. I actually like Texas Tech tonight, laying 7.5. I know this is a very desperate Texas team that needs this win. They're on the bubble. I'd say they're probably on the outside of the bubble. In the case of the Texas Longhorns, they're 16-13. Hard to imagine them dropping to 16-14 and still being a tournament team. So it's a must-win for them, but I don't think they win. I think Texas Tech minus 7.5 is my play. I do like Kansas State also in the other game, laying 1.5 at TCU. but TCU, another team that's desperate. All right, now as we go to your favorite, Frank, the
oh yeah,
the 6-digit games. Okay, first 6-digit game of the night is going to be Prairie View, A&M. We're going to be laying 2.5, which is speaking of Houston, I believe they're not too far from Houston. All right, so that's the first play. Another team in the Houston area, Texas Southern, my second play, laying 11.5 on Texas Southern.
Okay.
Now I'm going to go over to take Mississippi Valley State plus 4.5.
Okay. So that's 3 of them.
And I got more.
Oh,
I got one more.
Come on.
Actually, I got 2 more. Actually, I'm also going to take. It's going to be Jackson State plus 5.5.
Okay.
And then last but not least, one last 6-digit game, and that is going to be Delaware State plus 12.5.
Delaware State plus 12.5. Okay, we got, boy, that's 5. We're going to recap them on the last 3 minutes. But, folks, Rick, before you go with the NBA, Joey Casano just came in on 866 TCU plus 1.5. I know you were just about to release the other side, but he came in on TCU plus 1.5. He's been hot, guys. He gave me another 3-0. 3 Sundays in a row, 3 3-0s. All right, Rick, you're on deck, buddy. You're at the dish.
All right, we'll start with a couple college plays I have tonight since we were talking about college. First one I'm going to take is game 864, Syracuse at home, getting 5.5 from number 2 ranked Virginia. Syracuse has been tough all year. You know, they won at Duke. They just barely lost to Duke at home. Some free throws at the end made Duke actually cover, but Syracuse has been a tough team, and then there's a really big game for them. I don't see them getting blown out here. 5.5 points is going to go a long way. You may still be able to get a 6 out there in certain books, but probably going to just take 5.5. A really low total, 122. This game just feels like that 60 to 58 type of game. And I think Syracuse, I don't know if they'll get the win. It's going to be tough, but I do think they're going to cover in a really close, hard-fought game.
Rick, is this a game where I was going to say, Rick, is this a game where you'd buy maximum points?
Oh, and in any game in the college, the total, if 122, big conference, you're talking about 5.5, 6 points. These are all such key numbers. And this time of year, as many points you can buy at 10 cents a half point, you do. I mean, it's just known in the industry, and we've known this for 15 years now. So, most books don't offer buying more than 1 point, maybe 2 points max. But if you're able to buy 2, 3 points, especially, like I said, this game with a total of the 122 range, you'll do it every time.
Brian, great strategy, Rick. So you guys are telling me, let's say this game is Syracuse plus 5.5, and if you could get it to a 7.5, but it costs you 150, that's a good play.
This time of year,
without a doubt.
With the local,
this time of year,
guys.
Yeah.
So we were talking about those 6-digit plays. So Dan Kaplan through our Facebook live chat just alerted us to a potential issue here. He said those 6-digit games just got hit. Can't get those prices. Well, at least the first 2.
Wow, Brian, it wasn't me. I do not have. I am not moving those lines. I have not bet today. I'm not moving those. But you're moving these lines now. Now your games are getting so good that the lines are moving. So we're gonna get just like RAS. You better be on the show. Get your clicker in your hand and get ready and fire because you're getting so hot that you're actually moving lines.
We know how good prize HBCU and 6-digit game numbers have been, so obviously there's someone out there who's watching this in the second who's giving out the games there hitting it at the same time.
Which is bad for me because usually I bet as he gives them to me. Now I'm going to get screwed on these lines. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right, Rick, so you got Syracuse. So meanwhile, the strategy is buy those points at 10 cents, right?
Yeah, strictly on sides, of course. Don't ever buy points on totals. But
on
sides, at this time of year conference, the lower the total, by all means, you want to buy the points, especially when you're talking about games in that, anywhere from 2 to 8 range where those points are so important. If you're you're talking about a game that's 17 and a half, it's, you probably wouldn't want to buy at that point. Okay, so getting back to my second college play, this is my other college play of the night. I like, this is the game that Brian, I think Joey are going head-to-head, right? K-State and TCU. I don't like a side in this game. I think it should be a toss-up game. So, but I do like the under, 132 and a half. I feel like this is going to be played really defensive game, hard to score points. All points are going to be held at a premium in this game, and I think this game was played in the low 60s, maybe even high 50s. So I do like under 132 and a half. I expect this to close closer to 130. So I think the sooner you get it, the better, because it's only going to go one direction from here on out. So if you can get 132 and a half, that's great, but probably going to end up with 132. It might be actually a Vegas book or two at 133. So you might want to check on that, Frank, when we when we get off this call.
Yeah.
All right. So those are my only college plays. NBA, I have a couple plays. Any of you guys have any NBA picks tonight?
Not me. We're waiting for yours, buddy. You've been.
I'll go after you. Yeah, I got one play.
Okay, so I have two plays in the NBA tonight, and there's a medium card, 7 games. The 2 games stick out. The first game is actually the top of the rotation game, 502 Brooklyn -5 over Dallas. Dallas has been in a tailspin of late. They lost 6 of 7. All those games they've lost by double digits, except for one game they lost by 9 points. Brooklyn hasn't been world beaters either. They've actually lost 3 in a row too. But Brooklyn's fighting for that last 7. There's a 5-team race for the last 2 spots in the Eastern Conference, and of course Brooklyn right now is at the top of that list. But they lose tonight, and they'll already move down one notch, and they'll lose a couple, and they'll be out. So I think Brooklyn wins this game fairly easily at home. The public also is really big on Dallas this game. The public is, I think, 65% on Dallas. The line has actually moved from 4.5 Brooklyn to 5. I think it might even be 5.5 in certain spots. So that tells you all you need to know in terms of that reverse line movement and what the sharp side is in this game. So we know what happens, Frank, when the public
absolutely
is that crazy on the dog. Just kind of just bet the favorite at all costs. So that's my first NBA play. And I have one other NBA play, and that's going to be Game 5-13. Clippers are now 3.5 against the Lakers. I believe they're 4.5 earlier this morning. You probably could still get 4 at a lot of shops, mainly in Vegas. But I think the Clippers here, the Lakers are just in a free fall. I think that they're going to, at some point, they're going to have to shut down LeBron soon. The Clippers are still in the playoffs right now, and they should make it, barring a collapse. But I think they're in the 7th seed, and they're going to be fighting for their lives. It's such an important game for them. Every game from here on out is. Of course, it's a Lakers home game, but does that really mean anything when they share the same arena? So I like the Clippers are getting any amount of points, but I think if you can get 4, that's a great number. If you can still get that.
Rick, thanks. Brian, when we come back, we're gonna you're gonna release your NBA game. Thanks, Rick. Okay, you've got 4 plays. We come back, Brian's NBA selection, plus Augie's gonna have something for us. Back in 3 minutes, folks. This is Fifth Street Sports.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit. And 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. That's 800-957-6063.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
All right, guys, we're back. This is Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. Brian, okay, you were up when we ran out of time. You were going to give an NBA selection, and then we're going to listen to Augie's, and hopefully, if I got enough time, I can rattle off everybody's picks. So, Brian, you're up.
Okay, my play, real simple. I matched on the Clippers. Clippers +4 against the Lakers is my play tonight.
All right, we got it. And then, Augie, what are you on?
Well, I've been having a rough time not liking Virginia minus double digits. So I'm going to sucker for it. I'm going to take the trap play, and I'm going to take Virginia minus the points at Syracuse. I don't like betting road favorites, but Virginia's been up 10, 11, 12, 13 points on almost everybody, even though I thought they were an under team and would always be playing close. But lately they've been beating some of those larger numbers. So unfortunately, guys, I'm going to say I like Virginia with what I think is a bargain price at 6.
Thank you. I'm doubling down on Syracuse. Now, here's a guy that I'm doubling down on Syracuse. Here's a guy that tells us, I've been betting your picks for 3 weeks, and now I can't get paid by the bookmakers. And then Rick asked him, well, how did you get paid before? And he says, I didn't. I paid them. And then he opposes Rick's Syracuse play. Double down on Syracuse, folks. You just heard it right here from Augie. Joey Casano, TCU +1.5. Daniel Wages, SUU +6.5. Rick, Syracuse +5.5. Under 132.5. Brian, you got 6 games in the junior conference, right?
5 and then 1 NBA, I think.
Right.
Maybe it's 6.
Yeah, Prairie View -2.5, Texas Southern -11.5, Mississippi Valley +4.5, Jackson +5.5, Delaware +12.5, and then you like we got the Clip. Gosh, guys. I wish we had more time on this show. We got some great stories here from Augie, but you heard it. Augie opposed Rick on Syracuse. Yeah, I mean, here's a guy that tells you, I can't get paid by bookmakers. I'm betting your stuff, and then he opposes it. That is the time to take the rubber band off the bankroll, folks. Fifth Street Sports, thank you. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern.
USA Radio News with